Hello everyone, Stacy from Dies to Die For. Welcome back to another 25 Dies of Christmas video. We are on day number 9 today. This is the card we'll be making. Hold on, I think. There, I forgot to turn my lights on. Let's solve this problem real quick. There we go. Okay, this is the card we'll be making anyway. Dies we're going to be using are, of course, the stitched rectangles, this Gina Marie Slimline and loose stitched rectangle, the wood planks, Merry Christmas word, our stockings, and then I didn't use these on the original card, but I think we're going to add some of our pines. That's our newer pine needle die, or pine branches, I think it's called. Anyway, let's get started. What I did first is I cut out my three. No, did I cut out three? I cut out 2 stitched rectangles, and then I cut a matte piece that was just a 1/4 inch smaller than the biggest stitch rectangle to put in between. The back piece I inked with the Simon Hurley Gur ink, the brown. The center piece I inked with, I believe it is Game Over. That's what I inked it with, the Game Over ink. And then the third piece, we're going to use our brick wall. I cut out a piece for a stencil. Let me grab my mat here to show you how I use that as a stencil. I've already done most of this, but let's see. Gotta find the spot that I lined it up at. Who knows where that is? Actually, no, I didn't line it. Okay. I put this to the edge, and then there's still some pieces left, so we gotta just line that up anywhere. And I'm gonna use a Stampin' Up! Gray ink that I do not sell, but it's the gray that I used for this. So you can tape your stencil piece down too if that works better for you. Sometimes it can get a little difficult to hold your ink pad and try to hold your stencil. And that just moved a little. It's okay if it moves around though, it gives it kind of a neat effect. You know, I'm putting ink on this brush off screen, but I just can't hold it and hold my stencil, and you know. Okay, and you can lift it up and see if you're getting the color that you want. If not, add more ink. If you're good, then lift it off. And you can see there's some spots that I did not ink all the way. I kind of look like the more, I guess I would call that like a faded look. So I'm not going to be, it doesn't have to be perfect with the ink, but using my dies as a stencil, I use the brick wall and the rock wall a lot. And I like the look it gives me. So we'll set my stencil piece aside now that you know how to use your dies as a stencil. Dies, they're not just for cutting anymore. You can use them for stencils. And our dies will cut a little bit thicker material, so if you have like a thicker plastic that's not too thick, but that's going to be a little more sturdy, you can cut that out as a stencil also. They make those like file folder inserts that are a plastic that I've used to cut my stencils out before, or my dies out before as a stencil piece. I'm going to go around the edge of this, distress it. I just didn't do it before I inked, because that'll make it a little harder to put your stencil down. Get some glue on the back of this, and then we're just going to glue that on top of the inside layer. Okay. for some reason, I think I grabbed, we have two different sets of stitched rectangles. One is the loose rectangle and one is the our original stitch rectangle. I think I accidentally grabbed a piece of the original, because the original ones are a little bit thinner than loose, but that's okay. My mistake, but it'll give us the same look, give you the same idea. Then I took one of our wood planks and I'm gonna make it look like a little mantle piece up here. Or hopefully I make it look like a mantle piece. Hopefully you get the idea. Glue that at the top. And I have our Merry Christmas word here. Gluing, gluing, gluing. So, we are getting close to Christmas. Is everybody ready? I'm not close to Christmas yet. You guys are, because this is being pre-recorded. There. And I inked our Merry Christmas word with the Simon Hurley fake plant ink. Now I'm going to show you how I made our stockings. I cut out two stockings, or I cut out one full stocking and just a little bit of the top piece. I usually cut to about there and then I snip it off, but so that I can layer them on top of each other. I'm going to take a couple of pop dots, put them on there. And if you can see, once I flip this over, I've already glued on the little nail head piece that comes with the wood planks to make it look like my stocking is nailed up on that mantle. I'm gonna glue my stocking down. Okay, there is that card. Nice and simple. Now, I'm gonna add a few pieces to it. I was sitting here looking at it and I love the card, it's nice and simple, but I'm going to, as soon as I find my jewel tool, where is it? I am going to show you how you can, like, if this is what you have time for, great, but you can also take a basic idea and add on to it when you have the time. So we're going to add some jewels to this card. Add one right where that nail head is, and then got some bigger, and I'm just gonna put 3 in a line right here just because a line of 3 works for me. This is on the original card. I put the word more towards the center. I put this down towards the bottom on purpose. That just fell on there so that I could do my line of jewels just for fun. Because who doesn't need jewels on a card or jewels in your life? Okay. Now, next step, I cut out some of our pine branches and I snipped them apart. So I'm just going to put those up here on the mantle to make it look like there's pines going across the top of the mantle. And probably tomorrow when you guys watch the scrapbook page, this probably won't make any sense because I actually mentioned doing this in the scrapbook page, but it's not done in the page. I was just throwing it out there as an idea. That is because I pre-recorded the scrapbook page portion of this card before I did the card, because I had my setup all ready for pages, so I tried to do several pages in a row. That way I wasn't having to move my setup around. But if I like the way this looks, I'm gonna go back and add this to, and I do like the way it looks. I think it dresses it up a little bit. So I will go back and add it to the scrapbook page. And then once we do our final video where I show you all the projects that we've done, you'll see the page done like that. I really like that. See, just a couple more touches and it dresses that card right up. Now, I think we need a couple of the little pine cone. We need pine cones. If you have pine branches, you need pine cones, right? But just a couple. And you don't want to add much because the idea of this card was to be a little simpler. But just something to, right there, to dress it up. Okay, let's do our slimline card now. Ooh, I kind of like this word too. I had inked this with the red first and decided I didn't like that color, so I went back over it with the pine. Kind of like the two different colors on that. Kind of pretty. I'm not going to use it on here, but I'll use it on something else. As long as I remember what colors I use so I can make the rest of the page match. Or card or whatever I'm going to... Okay, for this one, we are going to take 2 of the wood pieces. This is the medium size, I believe. Yeah, because this is the larger. I used the larger one on the original, or on the A2 card. But because I can't fit 2 larger ones across there, I'm going to use the medium size. Make them meet right there in the middle. Bring it down a little so I have some room to put those pines on top of it. Keep looking over at the A2 card that we just made with the pine branches, and I am really loving it. Okay, now for this one, I cut out, on our stocking set, we have 2 different sizes. I cut out the larger size and the smaller size just to give a little more visual interest. I'm going to put 2 on one side of the card and 1 on the other. Sticking with my groups of 3. Stay there, glue. And then my Merry Christmas, of course, is going to go right in the middle. This glue bottle is just jumping all over. Now I really can't wait to add those pine pieces to the scrapbook page and see how it looks. Okay. I wonder if I should keep this one up more towards the top and put the jewels along the bottom of this card. I think that's what we're going to do with this card. Okay. I need to grab a few more silver jewel pieces out. And we do have red. I just went with silver because the red, here, let me show you, the red doesn't really match the color that I inked. See? I tried red, that's why I have a pile of them sitting over there. That even. Oh, I think I forgot to tell you guys how I used, for this card I only used 1 stitch rectangle. I made a non-stitched larger piece, then the stitch rectangle, and inside is not stitched also, just because I wanted a little bit of a wider card. and the stitch rectangle only goes to 3.5. I wanted a 4-inch card. Why? I don't know. Just to make things difficult. Probably because by the time I got to the second size on the stitch rectangles, it would have been too small to fit the stockings. And that sounds like a good reason, right? Sounds like something that I would have decided. I don't know why I'm laying my jewels out first before my glue dots, because I made a new rule. I put my glue dots down first, then put the jewels on top of them. So for these stockings, you really didn't need to put that nail head on there, because the little jewels serve as a nail head. Now, should I move these over more towards the center or leave them on the side? I think they need to be on the side, off center just a little. So 1, 2, 3. Today, learn how to count with dies to die for. Sorry, sometimes I just say random things that come into my head when I'm... Okay, let's add some of our pine needles now. I want to go with the same pine needles that I used, I think, and I want them to touch this edge so it looks like if you had a full picture, you could see them continue on. Makes sense to you guys? Because it did to me when I said it. I always have to feel the need to clarify with people, like, does that make sense? Because not everything that makes sense in my head makes sense to anybody else. I don't know why I didn't do this on the original card. Probably because I didn't even think about it until I was doing the scrapbook page and, you know, trying to make some simple cards for you guys. And here I go, complicating them. Actually, this isn't that complicated. These were super easy just to cut out and ink and throw on now. Now, because I already have my stocking glued on there, I'm going to probably want to snip this piece off so it will go around those stockings. Because why would I make it easy on you guys and put the pine pieces on before I put the stockings on? Come on. You know me better than that by now, right? Only been doing these videos for you guys for what? Actually, what has it been? Has it been a year and a half now? No, it's been 2, because this is our 3rd year doing the 25 Dies of Christmas videos. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. I actually need one more of those pines, but I don't seem to have it. And I don't want to mix it up by putting these places that they shouldn't be. But I am going to take a few this different pine. And honestly, I couldn't tell you the differences in pine trees, so don't ask me to explain it, but the way that I describe them are the pokey pines and the soft pines. I know somebody's probably gonna make some kind of comment about that, but I prefer the not so pokey soft pines. Just add a few of these in here. I think if I did one more over there, I'm good. And then I will, of course, cut this last pine piece out later and add it. Oh, this is fun. I love this card. I liked it before, but I wasn't in love with it now. Now I want to make a few more. This one, is that stuck down good enough? Okay, I want that one. Little, there we go. There is everything I can do on it. I'll just, like I said, cut that one piece of pine and put it up there. Then I'm going to go back and put some pines on the scrapbooking page. So I have it all ready when I reveal all the projects together on the final day or bonus day or whatever. But here is the original look. Nothing wrong with it. Again, if that's all you have time for, this is super quick and simple. But you can get a little bit more creative and add some more bling to it. Thank you for watching. This was day number 9. We will see you again tomorrow for day number 10. Have a great day.